blah, 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 blah. And then he will come back to his town, which is like 3 hours away, and they will already be back in that motherfucking town before him. Like, that's crazy.
That's the thing.
On everything but Facebook.
Woo!
Well, hey, everybody else. Facebook's coming.
Yeah. Facebook's coming. If you will too if you play your cards right.
Happy Brews Bros. It's Tuesday.
Oh. I thought somebody, it was like their birthday, and you were actually saying happy birthday. I was like, fuck, I don't know anybody's birthday. Paige's birthday was last week, and I was like, oh shit, I feel so bad. I forgot you even had a birthday. Like that. I didn't think anybody had birthdays. What's going on?
Do you feel compelled to, when Facebook birthdays come across your notifications, to say happy birthday?
That's why I don't have Facebook, so I don't have to remember people.
I have difficulty with that. It's like, I try to. I care too much, but like other people care too, I guess.
I did for
Elders
a while.
came up last week.
No.
I wished Elder happy birthday.
Yeah,
I think,
me too.
I went up to him at work and hugged him.
I sent him a video of throwing a birthday cake on the ground, and then this.
So, at what point do we start our intro?
No, this is it. This week on Brews Bros BS, episode 60, Breckenridge Brewing, Oatmeal Stout for this guy,
Yep.
Mosaic Promise,
By Founders
for this dude. We're gonna drink it. We're gonna tell you how it is. Love it, hate it. We're gonna be real about it, even if it gets us hate from airplanes. That's gold.
Mike.
That's absolutely gold.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
This is episode
So-
what? What episode is it?
60.
60. You made it.
Also, I see Brent tuned in tonight. We had a discussion about some things of Brent's. I said we had a long discussion. Chris argued that, according to measurement, it was a very short discussion. So, but we're wishing you well. Hoping you recover well.
So the first beer that we're drinking is the Breckenridge Brewing Oatmeal Stout. And the first topic that I have is that I hope none of us ever run for political office. Because if we're ever nominated for a Supreme Court seat, every one of these videos
Did
will
you
come back to
molest
haunt
women
us.
in the 80s? Is that
No,
what happened?
no, I'm saying, like,
Why would they haunt us?
there's some shit that's been said and some moments over the course of these last 60 episodes where I was blatantly out of control.
They would know you're real. You're keeping it real.
I hope you don't want to be a mayor or a senator or a court justice.
We can't even run until we're 35.
This will be held against us.
I may run for Salina Mayor someday.
Dude, you can totally get it.
Bunch of jackasses running any show anywhere, basically.
There you do. Do it. I'll vote.
What do you think about the allegations against Kavanaugh? Which I have mixed feelings about all of it.
One person came forward, then another person came forward, then two more people came forward. It starts to stack on you. Cosby's innocent.
No. I mean, the powers to be are always trying to smear you. And so you can't rule out the possibility that somebody's going to pay somebody to try and do something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's the case. That's not my decision. But I'm leery of all of that. And, I mean, I'll say something I don't care if I don't want to say.
Do it.
I'm cautious to a degree. But, I mean, can you only imagine running for political office and having any indiscretion in your life displayed for the world to see? I mean, it would be horrible.
An indiscretion? Or are you saying you do something and then it comes back and is thrown in your face later on social media?
I mean, look at Al Franken.
What's up, Tyler?
What's up, Tyler? Yep.
Al Franken. I mean, he was a senator, and there was a picture of him where he was play groping a woman. But according to all accounts, she wasn't upset about it, I don't believe. But it was just the embarrassment of the photo. mean, there's probably a lot of No, I know there are embarrassing photos of me floating around. I don't want those strewn out for everybody to see. If somebody can find it.
I saw a picture of Tate blowing Michelangelo on the internet.
The turtle, not the artist.
Oh no! It was it was the painting in that picture.
Yeah. Where's 21st Amendment Brewing out of, Tyler?
But I don't know.
Facebook chat's not connecting the restream, so it's not going to pop up on the screen. But we can still track comments.
Show up down there. Oh, of course it does.
Pay attention here.
Can we reset it? I don't know how that works. But you mentioned that. You say, hey, that would never work, and it would bite us in the ass. So, I hate doing this. There are thousands of things that Trump has said that there are evidence to. I mean, you can go online and watch him say it out of his own fucking mouth, and it does not bother anybody. It does not change anything. In fact, people have cheered about it.
I mean,
so
when he was...
Do you think it's going to be that bad?
Before he was elected president, and he was just in the running, and there was 15 other candidates, I'm like, what is this farce?
Yeah.
But
in the past, he had supported Hillary. He had openly supported Hillary.
They donated to the Clinton campaign.
Yeah.
Then the thing came out when he was saying grab him by the pussy. And it just steamrolled through it.
Yeah.
And so
it just helped him.
His supporter base basically doesn't believe that happened.
He openly talked shit on Jeb during the debates and stuff. And, I mean,
it's all crooked business in my eyes.
So I don't think the things that have happened so far are going to affect be as.
So maybe you could be mayor.
Yeah,
maybe you could be mayor.
Yeah, I mean Rob Ford was mayor, wasn't he?
Anyone can. If this happened, anybody can be fucking mayor or a politician.
Rob Ford was voted mayor twice after he was
spoken. They like him.
Why not? He seemed like a fucking party monster.
That's the thing too, is they're doing it during their term. I did that shit in my early 20s. Like, what the fuck? And learn from it. So that says I'm already better than any of those trucks.
I know who you were here, and now I'm here. Yeah. Let's get you all here. Yeah. That's my campaign. Like that's.
Ooh, a better shirt.
I like it.
I was you 10 years ago, motherfucker, and I'm only 31.
Let's get you where you're going.
I'm gonna have to do a live pour of this one.
What's up, Corum? Ooh, California beers. Solid IPA, $8.99 6-packs. We have an IPA tonight out of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yup.
Good old Founders.
Oh,
dude, Founders.
And that chick remembered you? You said?
Yeah. That was awesome.
So, I played pool with her at Big Nose.
We all did. She was good too.
She was when I played multiple games with her. The first one I played with her was kind of sober, and I sucked. And she was like, "Well, that was a disappointment," and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Don't worry, baby. I do that to a lot of ladies.
Just you get ready. But then we started drinking, and oh man, the night went away. It took a turn, and then we played pool again, and I was owning it. At least in my memory, I was owning it.
I love that the story you told whenever you came back from this was she remembers us. She remembers that we were the only thing that made Big Nose tolerable, and she also remembers the bar tab. Like that.
She mentioned that we succeeded in making them get their money's worth.
Yeah. It was worth it. We mention them probably every 2 weeks too. So I mean.
So we're referring to the night we all met for context, in case anybody in Facebook land doesn't understand.
Joe says, "What do y'all think of Prairie Artisan Ales?" I think I've only had one.
I don't think I have.
I don't.
But Prairie Artisan's got to be out of Kansas.
It was more sour, I think.
I don't know if I've ever had one. Were they at the beer fest? I've not heard of them.
I think the one I've had is it's got like a comic book looking can, and it's a sour. And it was fucking good, nice and mouth-watering sour, but they're expensive.
Oh, get up there and pour it.
All right, so first beer of the night, the Breckenridge.
Put good head on
Oatmeal
like
Stout. We're gonna do a live pour there. Oh yeah.
Did you say oatmeal sour?
Oatmeal Stout, whatever. I don't think I heard Stout.
There's no head on that.
Oh, yeah. Bubblies.
There it is. Oh, that's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Good job. Good job.
I know what I'm doing.
So Tate said the only thing he's good at is drinking. That's what I'm taking away.
So basically, we haven't had a lot of artisan ales.
Nope.
Joe. AJ's drinking Santa Fe Brewing 7K IPA. Or no, he's at work, but he's waiting on that.
Oh,
I'm a big fan of. I want to try that. That sounds good. What is? I wonder what 7K means.
7,000.
7,000 pounds of hops.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Doesn't that sound awesome, Jason? But this one is.
You get 7 kinds, and that's what the K is for.
Have we had one of the Breckenridge beers before? Is this our
So we've had 2, I think, total. On
Crazy
here.
Mountain?
Or, nope, those are not.
That's a different company.
Yeah.
It's Crazy Mountain.
All right, what else we had at Breckenridge's?
I can't remember what we had on stream, but I've had the Samurai, which is their rice beer, the Claymore, which is their Scottish Red.
I had that one.
They have. I can't remember. They've got a farmhouse, and I can't remember what it's called. Had that. Had their IPA.
What's up, Joey?
They've got one more that's in a mixed pack. Oh, their vanilla porter.
We've had their Avalanche.
That's the one we had with Adam.
Okay,
that's right.
I wouldn't remember that. I wasn't here. Yeah.
Oh, and it was so good.
We liked it, yeah.
No, I just mean him being gone was so
What's
good.
up, Luke?
Oh,
it's 7,000 feet.
37,000
That's
feet.
cool.
Okay.
Oh, wow, that's actually kind of... Oh, elevation, not like... We're not like flying somewhere. That sucks.
Welcome to the show, Jason.
I've been here for a minute. I'm just finally catching up. I'm sorry. I'm slow.
So, if you guys haven't noticed, we're one short. El Neferino is moved on to
Poor Brent.
a better place.
That's
Moved
a
on to better
great
place.
question for this guy. Since his wife's a doctor, he can give you medical advice. I think it's, I think it's binding. You know what? I'm gonna say, as your attorney, you can drink whatever you want, wherever.
I see no reason why you cannot drink with the catheter.
Hey,
And honestly,
it'll help make sure that you can piss okay.
if you're at a beer festival and you can get one set up and attach it to
What's
your
up,
leg,
Blair?
that will probably be for the better. So absolutely,
Can I have
go
a
for
second
it.
one of these before we start the reviews?
I don't see it inhibiting it. It's just an end tank,
Yep,
right?
Yep. As long as you're not on like some heavy medications. I mean, I don't want you to fall asleep forever, but oh, swing and a miss. Pick that up, Chewy. You got it?
So this is the new Neff. Chewy. Well, he's been here before though. Chewy the beer dog. Oh, that's the wrong beer.
So I was saying that in that fridge, there's actually quite a few decent beers still left in there.
Yep.
There's the Oktoberfest.
I haven't been drinking much
There was,
outside the show.
other than
And Slime
Saturday.
on tap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, per your suggestion, I went back and I had the Goodnight as my starter beer today. Still pretty good. Still pretty good.
Okay, so I said this. This is a comment I made at Slime on Tap.
No, this was
Last
a comment
week.
you made at the end of last week.
Okay. Okay, and you were raving on how good your selection was or something to
No,
that?
that wasn't even my selection.
Okay.
No, he was like, "This is a good beer," and you're like, "Say that next week when it's your first fucking beer."
What is it? Was it sour?
No, it was a
No,
it was a
that,
red IPA.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
that Imperial IPA, like heavier pour.
But
It was a good Imperial.
Yeah.
And usually I'm not a fan.
It was a
The
good
other
beer.
guy
Good.
died? No.
Yeah.
He's dead to us.
He has moved away. He might come back. I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up in 30 minutes and was like, "Guys, I miss you.
Can I have some beer?
I hope so.
Yeah, can I have beer?" And we're like, "Yeah, come on, Neff, come on down. Come hang out."
You know, he's not even watching, so I hope that's because he's just plotting on like, all right, when do I got to join? When's a good time?
He's gonna try.
right at the first. Right at the
He's going to
first,
try and join
yeah.
incognito.
I asked him. He said he was.
That's him right there.
He said he'd tune in
And
a
this
little
whole
late.
But no, that's going back to all that. He's not
That's
here.
what kind died.
He's not with us anymore.
It was great while it lasted.
I haven't seen Elder tune in, and he was usually the only one chatting in.
I think he was
Twitch,
busy tonight.
so-
That's why he told me. He couldn't be.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, Neff only helped Jason's numbers out because now instead of Jason being my 4th favorite person on the couch, he's now my 3rd.
Wait, 3rd favorite person on the couch? So, you're one of your favorite people? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, Chewy, he's in there too. Isn't that right, buddy? Yeah.
So, have either of you two watched Ash vs. Evil Dead yet? Okay, so this
when
timer.
I was younger, I think.
Oh no, it's a fairly new show. I mean, it's based on Evil Dead, like the old ones.
But it's a ton of like movies.
It's like 2 movies: Army of Darkness and Evil Dead.
No, I haven't.
But so there's a series about it, and in the series, he's in jail, and he's allowed a phone call, and she's like, "You got 5," and he's like, "Baby, I got 8. But I know how to make it feel like 5.
Oh my god.
I laughed so fucking hard. I was in tears. It's like, holy shit, because he said it so fucking smooth, too. I was like, who would come up with that? Who would fucking come up with that? Like, I was in tears. I want to cry right now just thinking about it, because I was like, god damn, that was amazing.
That's the same guy from Burn Notice, right?
Yeah. He always did Chuck Finley. Yeah. He was fucking hilarious.
So, let's detour from that.
Oh, it's his choice.
Yeah, that's why I'm introducing it.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm saying,
Very
Jason, come on, let's go. Shut up. So, Chris, this was your pick.
Fuck you, I'm in tears over here.
It's 5% alcohol, oatmeal stout by Breckenridge.
Why is the IBU so high?
What do you think?
I think the ABV should be higher for how it tastes. But it doesn't taste heavy at the same time. I'm a oatmeal stout fan, and this doesn't like deter me from them at all. It's pretty oatmeal stouty to me.
Oatmeal stouty.
Oatmeal stouty.
It's definitely roasty. Get back, dude.
Roasty or
Get back.
toasty? Roasted?
Roasted-ish.
Okay.
English is hard. I don't know. As we get into the cooler weather, this is my type of beer. Even though I think I'll still drink some sours and shit into the winter, but
easy drinking beer though.
This is very smooth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even like say if you haven't had a lot of craft beer, don't try it. I'd give it a shot. I'm gonna go 8. I can't find anything wrong with it, but it's not fantastic either. Like excellent status. I'll probably buy it from time to time. A little bitter on the back end, I think, for a stout, but that may be the 36 IBUs.
Yep. So it reminds me a lot of Left Hand's sweet milk stout. It's not dissimilar.
I loved the sweet milk stout though. That was really good.
It's not it's not dissimilar. I mean, it's similar, however you want to say it.
What up, Heinz?
I think I might have liked the sweet milk stout better. I think maybe it was just more vibrant. Like what you said, I can't find anything wrong with it, but there's nothing that really like stands out as being exceptional. Still very smooth, very drinkable beer, enjoyable beer, and I'd buy it again. I mean, I really put it basically side to side with the milk stout. I might like the milk stout a little bit more, but I'm not drinking it right now. So maybe I'll just alternate those two as far as like that kind of category.
It also tastes kind of cocoa-y. Like
it's dark chocolate.
Yeah.
There's that, and I think that's actually what makes it bitter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You ever had like a
block of
yeah.
Ate that shit like, oh, this might be good when you're a kid, and it's like,
oh, it's chocolate.
Have you seen that recent YouTube video of that kid who is bugging his mom every morning or every day about the Hershey's that he saw in the cupboard, and it was the powder, and he kept bugging her.
He's like, oh, he takes that bite.
He wouldn't listen when she's telling him, you don't want that. It's gross. You can't eat it. It's only for milk.
You're lying to me.
And so she's like, you won't believe me? Fine. And so she just lets him go about it. It's so funny. Because he coughs. There's the cloud. And he just looked at her like, you did something wrong to me. You're so evil.
I let my kid do that a few years ago when making hot cocoa. And you have to add a shitload in order to make hot cocoa. But I was like, yeah, you can take a lick. And she's like, what's that? I was like, it's chocolate. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm looking forward to doing that someday.
Teresa's here.
It's the best thing. One of the best things.
See, I don't even read the fucking thing that we put up, and then I read it. I just read it. And I'm like, damn, I did decent.
So, in an effort to, was it Wilcom that said we can't give anything a 7, or was that was David? I'll give it a 7.5.
Wait, we can't give anything a 7?
We apparently we were all giving everything 7 for a while, but maybe we were having a bunch of mediocre beers. But that was when David Gavin commented saying, "And you can't rate it a 7." So I'll give it a 7.5.
8.
All right, so I absolutely get what you're saying about it being a drinkable beer. It is, but it does have chocolate, which you can tell. It is a dry chocolate, so it's like an unsweetened chocolate. There are coffee notes to it. It's very light on those, but I think both of those would actually add to the bitterness to this. I think if this had some sweetness to this, just even a tad,
A little bit.
it would put it just over. Like it would make it a very
Make it more
drinkable.
vibrant. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would make it a lot more drinkable. It wouldn't end with that kind of harsh flavor, which it is what it has. It tastes malty and everything, but it doesn't taste like a caramel malty. So that actually takes away from it a bit. It makes it taste heavier, if that makes any sense at all. It doesn't
But not
drink
feel heavier.
Yeah, it doesn't drink heavy, but it tastes heavy. Like it tastes
makes
really
me-
rich.
Makes me want to keep drinking it instead of just like, I think I'm good for a few.
See, I don't have that with this. Like this is something that I think if I was having a decent dinner, I'd have 1 or 2 of these. It wouldn't be like I'm gonna have a 6-pack of these. Like this wouldn't be what I would turn to
I don't know about
for a 6-pack on a Friday. This would be like, hey, I'm gonna have a steak for dinner, or I'm gonna have chili for dinner. I'm gonna have a couple of these. That would be something that would happen because that's the kind of season that it goes
It's getting
for.
chilly weather.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sounds great right
That's what
now.
my wife said today after work. She's like, it's Croctober.
But this guy doesn't like chili, so
Dude, I make some good chili.
I make award-winning
So-
chili.
I'm un-American.
I remember I voted for you.
I know.
I just had this thought, and before you finish, I want to interrupt you. I wonder how everybody has cultural influences that influence the way that we view things, and I think we like a lot of sweet in the U.S. I mean, we are so just bombarded with sugar and salt.
Oh,
Sugar and salt.
Big
in everything.
sugar. Big sugar is a real thing.
And so, like you talked about how you
Just
think
like big
this,
pharma.
Yeah.
you think that this would be better if it's just a little bit sweeter. It's curious to me. Like I don't know why I had the thought, but what people who weren't living here, if they would have that same kind of interpretation.
Probably not. I imagine that this would have some sweeter notes than they're usually used to.
Our international population. If you disagree with the sweetness, let us know. Since
Sure.
we are reaching out.
We did have an Argentina guy last
That's
week
true.
or so.
That's true. I remember.
Yep.
A few.
He was talking about a mixed drink that he was drinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
It sounded weird.
For me, this would not be, because I have had other oatmeal stouts that I prefer more, this wouldn't be one that I would turn to first. It's not that it's not good, so this would be like a 6.5 for me. This wouldn't be I will go buy this again. If I had to buy an oatmeal stout, it would probably never be this. It would probably be that milk stout. I really like that.
I bought it again multiple times.
I mean, and it had an appropriate flavor to it, so it was a much smoother end, which I really enjoyed in that. Like it was like almost like they took a chocolate milk to make a stout, and it was really nice. This just has a harsher end to it, and I feel like every stout does chocolate and coffee notes to it. I don't know if those are a requirement to it, but I feel like a lot do that, and this just doesn't do it as well as some of the other ones do. So that's it.
I agree.
I did 6.5.
6.5.
I agree with what you said too. There's nothing like over the top, unique, or extravagant about it. It's kind of just an oatmeal stout, but it's good and very drinkable.
Yeah, I mean it's good beer. Not to say that it's a detriment to it or anything. It's a good beer. It's just not outstanding.
This would be a perfect one of those fall evenings around fire pit or fire, that kind of beer.
Yep. Facebook land or wherever you're viewing from, if you're drinking, and we hope you are,
Should always be drinking.
let us know what you're drinking.
Oh, you clicked Cave Divers, and I was like, oh, what? This is Cave Divers, eh?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
So, that's fun. Oh, man, we gotta...
So, Jason,
pound this one down.
this is a good transition topic.
Ooh. Is this the one you wouldn't talk about before the stream?
No, that was Kavanaugh.
Oh.
I'll try to chime in if I can. I'm sure.
But Jason talked about when we did Slime on Tap this Saturday, which, if you weren't there, it's kind of Salina's beer festival.
I hope you watch our Snapchats, because I don't remember what I said.
Yeah. But Jason made fun of my wife's coat. It was one of the first things he said about her. He was like, "Oh, that kind of looks like a trench coat."
It was not. I liked her coat.
I wasn't looking. I was talking to somebody else, and she's like, "Babe, Jason made fun of my coat."
She said I did Columbine.
And she was saying it in a joking way, but don't make fun of my fucking wife's coat, you asshole.
I actually liked the coat. It looked very nice on her, but I was like, wow, this is a big coat. Like a big coat to be wearing indoors. But she's like, it's cold. I was like, okay.
It got us to thinking about...
You are a lot smaller than I am, so I can completely understand that you might be cold in here.
It got us to thinking about what kind of gun you could hide under a coat. And I said an AK. You could definitely have an AK back there. But John Wick, that little pump action tactical...
It almost looks like a 2-2 barrel. But it's shooting from the top.
Well, that's the magazine's
over under the mag on the bottom.
Yeah.
It just looks wide.
Oh, that's an intense weapon. I want to know what the capacity is. It looks fun to shoot. I want one. I mean,
it looks pretty badass. I do have to admit that.
But the beer fest was really good. You did say, though, you looked at the beer list prior to the event, and we had over 50 of the beers that were being served at the beer fest.
Yes, we had. But a lot of those were from much more local or very mainstream breweries.
You repping your shirt? You repping the shirt?
Yeah. And I still had a lot of beers that I hadn't had.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that was the thing, like, having a familiarity with all the breweries and...
Dude, familiarity. You and Gillis?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Met a long lost friend. And it caught me off guard.
Head brewer of Gillis, right?
Yeah. Head brewer and brewery manager, I guess.
Did you hit him back up? Like you were like, I'll come back.
Yeah,
and
we
talk
texted.
to you.
Oh yeah, I came back around. and We had a moment.
Okay.
Gotta get him on the show, man.
I was a little shit when him and that guy
you still fucking are.
Brendan knew each other. No, we might get him on. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
We're like, yo, come crash at my place and come get drunk on our podcast with us. Yep. I bet you'll do it.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I might have to get a Monday or Wednesday off. Because if we do that, we might just go too hard, and then we'll have to take him to Ponchos. Or whatever our equivalent is. What was that place that opened up in the old Texas or the old Logans? We've never gone there.
Perkins.
Dude, it's doing pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing like ever expensive IHOP.
Nothing ever succeeds in that location. I swear, it's so hard to get to.
True.
But I mean, Ponchos is kind of hard to get to. What do you think about it?
I'll go out of my way for Ponchos. I like me some Ponchos.
I've had a couple drunk nights in Lawrence when we stopped at Perkins at the end of the night. That was the end of the night crash spot, and watched people drunkenly tip over tables full of food.
That sounds awesome.
I did not tag the breweries in this, I don't think.
But you were talking about the Slime on Tap. So, for anybody listening, Crown, any of the liquor stores, if you're one of the breweries, it was a great event. Thank you very much for putting it on. I have to say for VIP, though, which Chris and I went to, I was a little disappointed with VIP. So I get that you get pint glasses and you get a t-shirt, but pint glasses are $1 a piece, and a t-shirt's maybe $10, and I'm paying $25, if not $35 more ticket. I didn't get my money out of that compared to getting a normal ticket. You do get some extra stuff like koozies and maybe some bottle openers or some stickers if you get in early.
Yeah.
But they didn't do a good job advertising what were VIP beers, and there were a lot of booths that weren't open. I mean, probably more than half of the booths weren't open.
Till like quarter till,
Yeah.
20 till.
So it was just, it seemed like it was kind of a, hey, we want to have VIP, but we just didn't think about it until last minute. But I bought my VIP in March.
Yeah,
So
I bought mine a while ago too, and I was like, it was painful to do that, and then it was a little more painful after.
yeah. Especially when you find out.
I felt great. I paid $50 cash. Bam, bam. Brooks Liquor Store. I already told the uncomfortable story where I actually called Cave Ever South thinking they were at the event. But $25 a ticket. I got all my money's worth. And the bands were great. Big Red Horse. Your chick front lady. Make sure you tell the sound guy to turn up your gain.
They did after about 3 songs.
Yeah, from the start.
He did get it.
He got it. He got it tuned up at the beginning.
Dean, his name's Dean, I think.
Dean
Shit, can I have the other beer? We haven't even started on the other beer.
Yeah, I need one.
And we've got 15 minutes.
Oh, come on, guys. Seriously?
This is a slow drinking beer, man.
But it was a great event. I mean, I got a bunch of beers that I liked, and what did I say? I think Boulevard's Love Potion
number 7.
Love Potion number 7 was my favorite.
Oh, that was good.
It was a damn
Good
beer.
sour.
Yeah, it was a 8.4% sour.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've actually had the number 7 before.
The number 7 was this year only. Number 6 was last year.
Right. I know I had the number 6, but they come out with these every year, every couple of, and I've had it before. Maybe it wasn't the number 7, but it was really good.
And Hopping Gnome's sour Gosa was fucking good.
So it was a good beer. It had a bad smell. It had a bad smell.
It had a lot of salt too, right?
It did. It was a very salty smell, or a very salty
Very
taste.
salty Gosa.
So Joe's drinking the,
Everything Rhymes Orange.
there it is, by Rough Tail.
My pops just joined. What's up?
What's up, Papa Shriner? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
But there you go.
I don't know the Papa part, but the Shriner part was right.
That's what that's
Papa,
me.
Papa,
I'm not gonna call him Papa.
Happy.
Papa Shriner.
But it was what their salty gnome Gosa, wasn't that it?
Can't remember.
I think it
sounds
was.
right.
But it was very good. It had a really weird smell. Really weird smell. I tried all of the beers that they had because they were all pretty decent.
Their sour IPA was good. And I had one other, but I can't remember.
All right, I'm gonna go finish this, rinse it, and get rid of
I
the
probably
next
should have rinsed, but
one. No, I'll do a pour again.
Lagunitas Mosango was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That one was really good. It was a coconut mango, a little hoppy, and a bit sour, oddly enough. That one was really good. Blind Tiger out of... Hey, cool. Thanks, Joe.
Will do, man. Hell yeah.
But Blind Tiger out of... Were they out of Topeka?
Yeah.
I want to say they're out of Topeka.
Julie and I we eat there when we go to Topeka. It's a good spot.
Yeah.
It's like a... I think they mostly do their own beers or only their own beers, kind of like Blue Sky, and have badass food. Like they have fillets, all kinds of...
You guys are big steak people, though.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are big steak people.
I like some steaks.
Yeah.
Julie didn't eat steaks or like
What's up, Dustin?
red meat till she met me. What's up, Neff, man? And now she's like, give me a steak, babe. I'm like, yeah.
This one's steak.
Same with wings. She didn't eat a whole lot.
Oh, fucking wings sound good.
Chantel's here. Anna's here. What's up, people?
Oh, man. But their Blind Tiger Bock, which was a VIP only beer, was very good.
Yep.
But their Maibach is a award-winning beer. Their award-winning beer. It's like their frontliner. That one was extremely good. We did have the rare beer for Blue Sky, the Triple X, which was an American Wild Red, an American Strong Ale, but it was a Wild Red. That's not the one.
American Strong
That one was okay. It wasn't great, but it was
like a barrel-aged ale, like a badass ale. Basically.
Firestone is the one that had the Wild Red, and it was the Agrestic. That was delicious. That was a fucking good beer. That was the one that had like the cork in the top with the metal shit around it and everything. Because I was like, I'm gonna fucking try that as soon as you guys open.
Oh yeah.
But theirs was really good. Tried the Budweiser that was brewed in Jim Beam barrels. That was pretty okay.
I didn't have that one.
That one was pretty okay.
Oh man, look how it turned out.
Oh shit.
That's weird. No, it's just because of the background, wasn't it?
No, it was the color of the beer.
That's weird.
And then
That was the pour on the Mosaic. FYI.
damn. What were some of the other ones? Salt City. I was actually surprised. I didn't see any of the names of any of their beers, and I didn't know anything that they had going on. And it was all being pumped out of coolers. Like there weren't kegs. It was just coolers. So that one was kind of different. Dogfish Head did okay. That was the first time that I tried their coconut IPA, because usually it's a bit expensive and I don't like IPAs. That was good.
Ooh,
You had their something, and it was not. You were like, "Huh!" Didn't you pour that out? Was that the one that you poured out?
Yeah.
There was one you poured out. I can't remember
It's
if it was
one of
from
their
them.
really expensive stouts, I think. And it's
Which
not
one?
that it may be a good beer. It's just not for me. Type taste. What the fuck was it? Is it like a dark purple label or some shit?
Which one is this? What company?
Dogfish Head.
Oh, it was the
One of their like $18 4-packs.
Sriracha something.
No,
No, it's Sriracha. It was spelled like Sriracha.
Mosaic and Oatmeal Stout.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Mosaic and the Oatmeal Stout by Breckenridge. The Mosaic Promise.
We did the Saison from Ballast Point. What was the other one that we did from Ballast Point that was not hot? That we were all like,
I think a lot of people tried the Sour Winch, which I've had before, and I like it.
Okay, so Ballast Point. They had the sour. They also had an IPA. It was the Dead Ringer. Those were the two beers they had. They had the Dead Ringer. And the.
I think the Dogfish one was this Bourbon Barrel Aged Palo Santo Marrone.
I don't know that it was that one.
Maybe not.
Is that right there? Syracuse Nera. Yep.
Spelled like Sriracha. That was it. That's what it reminded me of.
That was the guy. Yep. Roasty Imperial Stout. Yep. That was the one that you were like.
And you see the
nope.
purple label. You said purple,
Nope,
right?
nope.
Yeah, that is the one.
It is it. But that one was not that great.
I didn't mind it.
Wichita Brewing Company.
That was the first beer I had when I arrived because you guys were over there.
Really?
By the right by in the corner in the back. That
I
was the
kept
first
using
beer I
the
had.
Sequench as my break point, and then every time I'd go and get the Sequench, everybody was like, "How is that?" I'm like, "It's fucking amazing."
It's like your cleanser.
Fucking amazing.
Like if something tastes like shit, you go get a Sequence.
So what time did you guys get there?
Noon.
Did you have to wait in line?
There's
No,
no
not really.
So you walked right in at noon with your VIP tickets, and you walked
I
in.
was there 2 minutes, like getting my ID checked and my bag checked.
And for the Dogfish Head booth, every time that I'd get that, somebody's like, "How is it?" And then they would try it, and they're like, "Oh," I was like, "Drink it all, drink it all." And they're, "Oh." But then Teddy Ballgame, Ted Caps was there, and he was like, "Hey, try mixing the Sequench with the coconut IPA." And I was like, "Why the fuck would I do that?" He's like, "The head brewer does it. It's delicious." I was like, "I'll take your word for it. You let me know how it is." He's like, "It's all right, man."
Well, then what did we have? Where was the Sour Saison? Where was that?
There was the Ballast Point.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was a sour saison.
It was not the Ballast Point.
Yes.
It was right over there by.
Saison? No, that was New Belgium.
Oh, was that New Belgium? Okay.
Saison.
Oh, with the honey triple, the honey orange,
Honey Tripel. I say Tripel.
It's
He says triple.
I love that you say Tripel.
There's two
But
P's and
just know that it's
The
Tripel.
EL. There's an EL.
You're just a fancy.
triples.
You're just a fancy
T-R-I-P-L-E.
bitch.
Yep.
You're just a fancy bitch.
But you would think triple would be triple. The word
Maybe.
triple, like tricycle.
Nah.
You guys hear?
And one P.
One brewer comes on the show and pronounces something a certain way.
No,
Instead of
usually-
definitive.
I believe it.
Usually, you do a double consonant after a what is it, a soft vowel?
Oh, where's the English
Like
majors?
fiddle?
If
Fiddle?
you're out there.
Why is
Yeah.
it fiddle, double D, and triple 1P?
So, okay, Neff says the Dead Ringer's the Oktoberfest, not an IPA, but it was the Dead Ringer. I remember that. And then
that was
You already out here, man? All right, night.
Joe Diggy's talking about the Red Velvet. Maybe that was
The dogfish.
the Dogfish. No, it was
Syracusa Nera.
yeah.
Syracusa Nera.
It's spelled just like sriracha, right?
No.
Yes, it is.
no sriracha is SRI.
No,
It's
Yeah.
SRIR.
Sriracha.
It's srur.
I'm dyslexic,
Like Sri
and
Lanka.
so I can rearrange the letters into
It's
the
like
order that I
Sri
want.
Lanka.
Yeah, it's sriracha.
So this Mosaic single hop must be.
That you guys prove me wrong. Let's change this fucking song.
No, it must be that the hops they use are Mosaic hops.
Yes, absolutely.
And we can't talk about the beer yet. Damn it!
Do whatever you want, bro.
No, don't do it. Don't do it yet. So that honey orange, it was very floral, and it was not my bag. So I did not
Honey
like
orange?
that. Yeah,
What was
from
that?
New Belgium. The honey
okay.
orange tripel, or triple, as you would say.
I like
was not
Saint
that
Tropez
great.
too, just as much as the next guy.
It was not that great. I was actually very surprised by how little I liked that one. But something that surprised me, and I can't... I know we've had it before, but I don't think we've ever reviewed it on the cast, was the Wichita Brewing's Coffee Porter.
It's always good.
Oh, man, that was so delicious. I was like, wow, this has a really
Wait,
good...
Wichita or
lovely-
walnut?
Maybe it is walnut.
Blue can?
Maybe it is walnut.
Blue can?
Yep, it's walnut.
Yeah. It's Walnut
Okay,
River.
I'm glad you corrected me there. But I was like, wow, this is actually really good. Who was it? Whoever was in the very first booth, like if you come in, they were in that very first booth right there.
On the left or right?
To your right. Like you walk in and there's that middle row, and they were the first one on the right. But she had, maybe that one was Walnut, or that one was Wichita, because she had two different 2016, 2017 Russian Imperial Stouts, and they were for VIP only because she only brought a couple cans. Yeah, it was Wichita because I kept trying to get the vanilla porter, maybe vanilla wheat, whatever it was, but every time she kept giving me stout. Those were actually not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones were not too bad. I was surprised. Ian, we like your beers. Three Rings, you're great. We've got shit all over our fridge. I was not impressed. Not that I didn't like. I was not impressed by their Oktoberfest.
Oh, that's the
Witch
Witch Hunt?
Yep. I was not impressed.
And overall, I think
thought it was decent.
Overall, I think we agree that we all don't really like Oktoberfest that much. I didn't have the Witch Hunt. I haven't had it yet. I've had
There was just nothing outstanding about
I've
it.
had the Walnut River, and the Walnut River isn't that great. I have that in my fridge actually right now, and right beside it, I have the Free State. I go for the Free State because that one
It's pretty good.
is amazing. I really like it. I still need it. I want to try the Witch Hunt. I mean, McPherson is right
I
here.
liked it.
Oh, one brewery that none of us had heard of before, but I just heard of when we were at the state fair is Salt City at a Hutchison.
Yeah. So they used to serve some of it at Blue Sky.
Right. But they're still trying to figure out how they're going to start up. But they were selling T-shirts. They weren't.
They had really nice looking T-shirts.
I wanted to get one. I didn't have any cash on me intentionally, so I wanted.
And they were $20 a pop. So,
But Salt City, they were there. They weren't there last year. It seems like a local brewery that's growing.
I was talking about them earlier. They didn't have any of their beers labeled though, and you couldn't tell what they had, and it was all out of a cooler. And
Yeah, they had they had a tap setup, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they didn't necessarily have like labeled taps,
Nope.
but they had the State Fair beer, which was one that they were serving when we were at the State Fair.
They had a blonde, a stout, and
I think that was
something
amber,
else.
maybe, or but they had an IPA, and I had that, and that was good from what I remember.
Cool.
I just love the local breweries popping up in every like little satellite town in Kansas. It's really cool.
It's turning into a big thing. I mean, when you watch the trend shifts because of, and I'm going to say this as a positive term, not a derogatory term, because of millennials. I mean, there's a lot of hate on the fact that they're killing chain restaurants and chain businesses, but it's because it's not what we want, and it's not what we. I have money, or I have a little bit of money,
like creativity and unique shit.
Yep, I want to try something new every time that I go somewhere.
Something
so
that's not recycled, and we're just doing the same shit over and over because that's what we have always done. And that's what's gotten us by. Something that's new, something that reflects what we want. So I mean, that's why I love doing all of these craft brews. We do 3 Rings out of McPherson, Salt City out of Hutch, Walnut River, one of the 8 breweries that are now in Wichita. They're popping up. It's like boomer babies.
Walnut River is out of El Dorado.
Right, but I'm talking about all the ones in Wichita.
Yeah.
Well, there was one that we had some communication
Hopping
with.
gnome.
No. On Facebook, you shared something of theirs. Maybe it was grapefruit, and they commented.
I don't Facebook.
Oh, Slam Brewing. From Will.
Oh yeah.
They just opened up.
It was another Wichita brewery,
they
right?
opened up something?
I think they started and or opened up their tap room.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I thought it was just.
You're not on Facebook. You don't get any of this.
Yeah. They did like a opening weekend 4 beer or so.
Oh shit!
Well, we shared their post and then they commented on our shit.
Was that their hibiscus whatever gosa that they were like, hey, we've got an extra keg, we should bring it down.
What was it? God damn it!
Oh man,
I don't want to be wrong.
Awesome.
But they had an IPA. They had a gosa. The gosa was called.
Hey Ryan!
Hide and go seek. Hide and go seek.
Ryan is an Applebee's fan.
So
Ryan, how long have you been an Applebee's fan?
What I love about this is exactly what I was going to mention. There was a Reddit
stand for that.
There was a Reddit post a while back, and it was about this exact thing. And it was talking about Applebee's potato skins, and it was like this shitty little strip of skin with like what looked like mashed potatoes and like barely a sliver of cheese. And it was like, this is $8.99. But then it was talking about a local place, and it was it was showing their potato skins. It was like this big, really well made dish, and it was just their potato skins or their take on potato skins. And it's also $8.99. And it says, yep, millennials are what's killing business. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't know why that reminds me of like. Do you remember the worst restaurant experience you've ever had?
Yes.
So I remember it, and it wasn't even me. Like, my food was fine. It was somebody else. So we were in Fort Collins, and we went to this Mexican restaurant that apparently is pretty popular, like Rio Grande, and Mitch is picky. Just like, that's
Mitch.
A given. You don't know Mitch. He was one of my groomsmen. He's a good buddy, but he's picky. He says he's texture sensitive. So he ordered the nachos.
No.
And he's like, and I don't want any of the veggies that you normally put on it. I don't want that. I just want the cheese, the chips, and the meat. And
that's like me.
Yeah, you're picky too.
I want a steak quesadilla. I just want steak.
Yeah, he didn't want none of it. And what they brought out was I've never seen anything like it. So like a Tex-Mex style Mexican, you get a kind of a
like fucking macho nachos. Is that
no? You get an oval plate that's like this, right?
Yeah.
And it's normally like stoneware, so they can put it in the oven. There were 12 chips.
12 chips.
There were 12 chips, cheese, and then
bite your tongue.
There was like six or 8 pieces of meat, and they brought it out, and it wasn't our waiter.
So Damon, my buddy, your buddy too.
You fucking assholes, dude.
Damon used to work
at the end
at Applebee's, and that he always said shit too.
Fuck you, Jason. So there were 12 chips, cheese, and like it wasn't the waiter that brought it out; it was the busboy or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Mitch was like,
"The fuck is this?"
Yeah, and I had a full plate. I had a full, delicious-looking plate. And he just customized it, and then the waiter comes, how is everything? And Mitch is like, well, I got 12 chips. Do you want me to do the math on what I'm paying per chip?
It's like $1 a chip at least.
And he's like, do you find this acceptable? And the waiter was like, well, I mean, that was the way you ordered it. And the waiter wouldn't cop to the fact that he could see it. Mitch hadn't touched his plate. This is a big plate.
There's like gaps between the fucking
chips.
There are gaps between every chip. Damn it.
There are gaps between every chip.
I would throw a goddamn plate.
And I'm just
somebody got creative.
I'm a spectator. And I'm just like, And I have so much social anxiety that I have difficulty with those situations. Like, if that was on me, I would be. I would probably.
You say social anxiety. Sarah and I went to fucking Applebee's, and she ordered I don't know what it was. I can't remember. It was some sort of salad, and they bring her out an Oriental salad, and she's like, "This is what I ordered." Like, she's too paranoid to talk about it. I was like, "You fucking tell them this isn't what you ordered."
Oh no!
And she's like, "I'll just eat it." I was like, "No, you fucking tell them that it's wrong." She's like, "No, I'll just eat it. It's not a big deal." I'm like, "This has none of the same shit that yours had in it, but fucking lettuce. That's the only thing." No, don't worry about it. Don't say anything. Fuck you.
Isn't that
Fuck
weird?
Applebee's.
It's social anxiety.
I always have
people.
to be the guy that goes, "Hey, you guys fucked this up." Because Julie's like,
I'm getting better at it because I was a waiter for a number of years, and I appreciate how much the wait staff has to work and try, and so I feel like an asshole whenever I have to say, "Yo, you guys got to figure your shit out because this is shitty."
well, I look at it as I'm helping you fix this, so maybe you don't make the same fucking mistake next time I come or your next table. Instead of just being like, "No, I'll deal with it," and then let them keep fucking up. Because that's like saying them fucking up's okay.
Yeah.
No. I'm in manufacturing. That shit don't fly.
We went to Abuelos in Wichita, and they fucked up. Like the lady was just a complete bitch to us, and she fucked up on our order multiple times. And I'm there with Paige.
Wait,
and
are we talking
sister.
like a complete bitch like the lady at Ponchos?
Yes.
Who is no longer wearing lipstick.
Very much.
She's
so.
now doing no lipstick. Somebody must have made fun of her lipstick.
So very much like that. But Paige is like, "I don't know what to tip her." I was like, "You don't tip her anything." And she's like, "Well, what are you going to tip her?" I said, "I'm going to tip her 10 cents. That way she knows it's her fuck up, not mine. That way she understands that I'm not just forgetting her tip. I'm intentionally tipping her low because fuck her." Paige over tipped her because she wanted to balance out my non-tip.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh,
that brings up a story that is so good.
Hold on, before you go, remember this. Back to the Slam Brewing thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Swizz Miz, which is a barrel-aged stout.
Yeah.
Barrel-aged stout, vanilla and cocoa. They have a triple dry hopped New England IPA, or Northeastern, whichever you want to say, 7.9%. Citrus IPA. Kansas Sunset, American Wild Ale on peaches. Tart and refreshing ale aged for 6 months on peaches. And then the Hide and Go Seek, pineapple and blueberry.
Ooh, that actually sounds really good.
We should
Oh wow, that
some goddamn
why is it
pictures.
that color?
It looks awesome.
So I'm not going to name
Go
names
ahead.
of these friends. This is a hysterical story.
Are we gonna review this fucking beer?
We had
After
this family. It was a group event, like a couple brothers with their spouses, and the family went to Mexico, and they were on a beach in Mexico, and they were all having a good time drinking cocktails. And one of the girls, whenever you're in a foreign country, there are always people that are trying to sell you shit. Wherever, they're trying to sell you purses, they're trying to sell you whatever.
First time I went to Tijuana, I was like this.
Yeah.
Kids swarmed me whenever I got out of the car.
And so,
"You buy CDs? You want to buy a hat? You want to buy this?"
These are all people that they're selling, most of the time, selling shit that is almost worthless.
They're hustling, though.
They're hustling, yeah. And haggling is a part of their culture. It's expected. It's not a part of the American culture, haggling. So we don't know how to do it. But so this chick was savvy, and she went down and she saw this. They're on the beach. She wanted a scarf, like a big scarf to wrap around, like a beach wrap. It was like a half scarf, half beach towel kind of thing. And she went down and she haggled with the guy, and she got him down. She got it 50% off. The guy's still making money. He took the deal.
Yep.
And she wasn't going to pay him full fucking price. Hell no.
If they take the deal, they didn't lose money.
Yeah. He's wanting 24. She offered him 12. She said, "No, here's $12. Take it or leave it." He took it. So she went back up and she was telling her husband, she's like, "Yeah, I haggled the guy down." The brother, millennial, he was so offended by the fact that she talked this poor, disenfranchised businessman down on the shore. She talked him down. he went and gave the guy the other $12.
No,
He felt so
guy.
bad that this chick that she would do that to this disenfranchised poor. No, he's so poor. He's down on his luck. He went and paid him the other $12 that she talked down. I was speechless. I was. What?
So we've gotten in 2
You are
accidents.
so privileged.
In like the last.
You just threw $12 away for no reason.
Yeah.
So privileged.
Sounds like a good-hearted dude, but I bet he's losing.
His heart's in the right place, but he has no grasp of actual reality. Heart's in the right place.
So
Heart's in the
nobody
right place.
fucked him over yet.
We've had to buy vehicles.
This
twice.
is the self-righteous, the self-righteous left. And
What's up, Josh?
I mean, I have leftist leanings, but I have right leanings too. But self-righteous left think they're so right, and they're so convinced that they're right. The civil justice warriors, same thing. And they just don't have perspective. They don't have the life experience to know. That guy was still making money.
Oh yeah,
He
still
still
taking
made
the
money.
deal.
And he was like, "Oh, you stupid fucking Americans! $12 in my pocket, right there."
It was $6 to him.
It probably
Jesus.
cost him 60 cents.
Exactly.
So-
I couldn't believe when I heard the story.
So we've had to buy vehicles twice in the last 2 years because of accidents. That is my favorite part of buying a vehicle is fucking haggling. And they're like, it's $4,800.
I like it too, because you're in the dominant spot.
24. I'll give you 24, and here's the reasons why. And they're like, I can only do 32. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll look elsewhere. And they're like, I can do 28. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, I can do 26. And they're like, 26.50. You're like, cool beans. Fucking 1,500 off. Yes, thank you. That's 33% down. I'll buy that shit today.
Yep.
When do I have to be there? Do I send you a check? Do you just take credit card? What do you do? Like it makes me feel.
So some
great.
of the social pressure that people feel when like sending shit back at restaurants, those same people have difficulty in that scenario, and that's because they've never
tried it.
Well, the thing is, everything that we know is learned behavior. And so if we don't have parents that we see haggle, it's really difficult for us to be able to be comfortable in that scenario.
Just like here.
Yeah, and so...
I got good at it from yard sales.
Yeah, oh shit, go. I only got 5. That's all I brought. I got 5 for you right here. If you want it, take it or leave it.
I'm not trying to break a... 50. Here's a 10.
Oh, and if you have a scapegoat, you say that my wife only gave me 5.
Yeah.
She said that's all I can spend. If you need a scapegoat, there it is right there.
Yeah. You put the 100 in your front pocket, then you put the 10 in your wallet, and you go, "This is all I got, bitch." And they're like, "Okay, I'll take it."
So
I love that. I love it.
You talking about them being too scared? I have never gotten more angry than the 2 scenarios where I screamed at somebody who worked at Taco Bell, and I felt so bad, understanding that they couldn't do anything, but I was so
What's up, Dave?
fucking angry. I was so goddamn
It's
angry.
Gavin. What up, Gavin?
Oh man. So I went to Taco Bell at lunch.
All right,
It
after he tells us we're reviewing this beer.
All right.
It was a Wednesday. I go through the drive-thru. Drive-thru is backed the fuck up. I wait almost 25 minutes, and I only have an hour lunch to get to the window.
Jesus.
And I ordered a beef grilled stuffed burrito, and that was it. Just a beef grilled stuffed burrito. I get to the window, and the lady's like, "Well, we're all out of beef." That's okay. What do we do here? I was like, "Can I get steak?" Don't have any steak. Said, "Okay, I don't want chicken. Can I get like?" And this is after I've already paid. So this is after I've already paid. She comes back to the window and tells me this. I was like, "Can I get a refund?" She's like, "Well, I have to get my manager, and he's really busy." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck." And then he comes over. he comes over and he's like, there's not a lot we can do. If we do this, it's not going to show up on your card for like 5 days. This was like 8 years ago. So he's like, it's not going to show up on your card for like 5 days. And I'm losing my shit. I'm like, how are you out of motherfucking beef at fucking lunch and you take my fucking money? Like, I'm losing my shit. And he's like, hey, if you come after lunch, we'll just give you the cash for it. I'm like, I can't just get off fucking work. I said I work a real fucking job. Not like I was losing shit. Not like you fucking guys. I have to go back to work. And he's like, well, if you come in after you get off work, I'll leave a note for the next manager. So I get back there after work for the next manager. And how they're selling fucking food, I don't know, because they're out of fucking beef and they're out of fucking steak.
And then he don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He has no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
Shit.
And I'm just losing my fucking mind on this guy, and I've got this receipt of shit that I paid for. He's like, well, I can't do anything for you, man. And I'm like, I'm just fucking raging so hard. I can't do anything because I'm like, you don't know what the fuck's going on. I already paid money for this. I never got my money. I never got my food. And he's just like, I'll pass it on to the manager. I'm like, I'm so fucking angry. So fucking angry. I can't do anything right now. I've never been this angry.
You gotta learn to keep your cool better, bro.
I've never been this angry.
You're melting down way too
anything.
quick.
So to wait 30 minutes to pay for something that you know you're not getting, and you only have an hour.
They could have told
Oh
no
my
beef
God.
or steak.
Oh my God.
When they charged him.
Yeah, or at the window, like, or when I'm ordering this. Hey, we don't have that. I would have fucking ordered it with veggies.
Then
I would have
instead
ordered
of
something
waiting
completely
25
different.
minutes, you just drive the
Jesus.
fuck off. You still got time to get other food. Then you go that whole time knowing you didn't eat because somebody...
I was so angry. And the other time was...
I get pissed too.
It was Taco Bell, and I repeated my order to this woman like 6 times. And then she fucked up on my order. Because it was me and 2 other people, and we all had the exact same order. But it was... I had a Dr. Pepper. They both had like the fucking weird Mountain Dew that they do there. And then she gave us all Mountain Dews. I was like, no, it's not what I fucking ordered. Give me a different one. And she's like, okay, here you go. And then I'm like, this isn't fucking it. And so she did it again. I'm like, it's a goddamn drink. How fucking hard is this? And so I'm so pissed about this drink. We get to going, and I go to check my order, and my fucking order's wrong. And I'm so goddamn mad at this point that this bitch just couldn't understand. I mean, they were literally all number 2s. Like, it was number 2, he wants like a Tropical Blast Mountain Dew, Tropical Blast Mountain Dew, I want a Dr. Pepper. That was it. And I had to repeat it to her. I had to repeat it to her at least 3 times. 3 number 2s, Tropical Blast Mountain Dew, Tropical Blast Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper. I'm sorry, I missed that. 3 number 2s, Tropical Blast Mountain Dew, for Christ's sake. And then I fucking lost my shit.
Dude, I deal with the same shit.
Lost my shit.
Mosaic Promise.
You do that.
Tate's
I'm going to go take a leak.
Founders, we love Founders. They're cool people.
Founders. Mosaic Promise.
Sorry
not sorry about Jason's stupid story.
Fuck everything about you.
But I'm kind of surprised by this beer. Apparently I had like an idea of what it would be, and that idea didn't pan out. But it's more refreshing and crisper and smoother than I thought. I was expecting kind of more of a bitter.
Another one too. Please.
It's only 50 IBUs. Me too, please.
I was expecting more of a bitter, more just like hop overwhelming beer, but it's not what it is really at all.
Can I get my review for the bathroom?
I don't know. Let's see how the audio is doing.
Don't even recognize him when he does that. Yeah. You don't want to encourage that.
How was the audio, by the way, people? We did some gain adjustments and shit.
Now that Neff isn't here laughing at the camera like, I don't know,
like a hyena.
Like a hyena? Alright.
Got all the similes together, bro. Rapper life.
But, it's crisp. It's smooth. It finishes well. Like, it doesn't finish harsh at all. It doesn't have a ton of bitterness. It's
5 ABV. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a session IPA. If it was a session, it would have to be below 5. But it's almost like an IPA mixed with a Pilsner. Like, I kind of get that impression from it. So
I get a fresh squeeze taste.
Yeah, it's a super easy
drinking. It reminds me of fresh squeeze.
Super easy drinking IPA. I'll give this an 8.
I'm right there with you. It's to me, it's the fresh squeeze taste almost exactly, without that. What is it? Lime or fucking?
All I heard was lime and beer, and I'm all about
lemon.
Lemon. Is it lemon?
I think it's lemon.
Much lemon.
Yeah.
Fresh squeeze is orange.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
How do we not know this?
Because don't listen to Jason ever for anything.
Batman Telltale series. That's a fucking awesome game right there.
So far, it's boring.
Really? The very beginning of that shit, when you walk into that bank vault and that guy's brains are just spilled all over the fucking floor, I was like,
but like,
what?
you don't even play.
Get in the camera, in the frame. Don't be talking from out of frame.
But you don't even play.
Bag.
It's like,
oh no, it's a Telltale game.
hit this button. Hit that button.
That's exactly what a Telltale game is.
Yeah. No, Julie bought it and she loves Batman and I might like this better than the fresh squeeze, but every time I have this fresh squeeze, it tastes different to me. And I think a lot of that might just be me having it at the wrong spots and them holding it too fucking long or something. I'm gonna give this a 7.5. It's an IPA that I can drink pretty easily. It's kind of a sipper for me. Like, it's not something that I want to drink and get a full mouthful then swallow.
That's what I just did. Trying to get it down as quick as fucking possible.
It's pretty hoppy. It is kind of bitter, but it's refreshing, like Tate said. 7.5 for me.
So, it's got a lot of floral to it. Like, I taste a lot of floral notes. So I've got to say, Mosaic hops must be a lot more of a floral flavor to it, which gives it a lot of a light flavor, or a light, I don't know, feeling, presence. I have no idea. I don't know the proper way to classify it. It doesn't taste like a heavy beer. It doesn't taste like a normal IPA. It actually tastes more on the lines like a pale ale, but it's got. It starts with hops. It ends with hops, but you don't taste that dryness until like it's all said and done. Like if you continue to drink this, you don't get a lot of that hops dryness. So I like that about it. This would be, I think, a great starter IPA, which is really hard to say because an IPA is a hard beer to start with, but it's light. It's something that you could transfer. Hey, I'm used to light beers, and you get some floral to it, and then you get some of that hops flavor to it. So it cuts away the difference between a pale ale and an IPA, and it adds that IPA flavor to it. It's still approachable. So I like that about it. That being said, it doesn't have a lot of flavors that I would actually look for. I mean, I'm a big fan of anything that if you want people to try your IPA, brew your regular, brew it with citrus. I guarantee you people will go to that citrus every time because citrus complements IPAs so well. Like they're made for each other because they finish and it stops it from having that dry end. If I had to buy an IPA, this may be the IPA I have to buy. IPAs are not my thing, but with that being said, this gets a solid 7 as far as if I was going to buy an IPA, I would buy this IPA.
I made the comment to Chris, you didn't hear it. This is it's a lighter one, and it's crisp, and I was like, it almost reminds me of like a cross between an IPA and a Pilsner. Like you said, a light beer.
Yeah.
Like
but it still has that bite and that dryness.
Stop drinking.
There.
Like if you nurse this, it'd probably be okay. You wouldn't ever
get the dryness.
Yeah. But there is absolutely dryness, but it's not a bite. It's not a dry bite.
No, your tongue doesn't just go.
Yeah. It's kind of the opposite of a sour.
It's dry.
It's the opposite of sour. Where a sour makes you salivate, this kind of just makes your tongue feel like it's drying out.
Yep.
Kind of.
Did you give it a rating?
Yeah, I did. 7. 7? Said 7.
Not bad. What's up, cousin? Riley? So...
Alright, what's the beef and chicken story? I saw this. It's like ordering a steak quesadilla and getting chicken. Am I right, Chris?
Oh, we went for Cherry's birthday Saturday, I think it was, to La Curva, and ordered 2 steak quesadillas, and they brought out chicken. I was like, okay, that works too, and I fucking ate them.
Oh! You bitch out.
I did, and I usually don't, but they looked good as fuck, and I ate them.
And you were hungry.
Yeah.
And maybe a little buzzed?
Yeah.
So you're give a fuck.
Oh, this was after the... Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
after the Salon on Tap.
Gotcha.
I went Salon on Tap, Nap, La Curva, and like 2 hours a day with Cherry. It's just bullshit. But,
This is what happens when Facebook tries to throw ads in.
God damn it.
I hope it's still streaming.
Just hit login or cancel. Hit one of the two.
Reload or...
Just hit login or cancel. See what that
I
does.
don't know.
Oh, it's fucking... Oh, Jesus. I've seen this happen on other
This is
streamers.
videos live, so
Yeah.
it'll still be up.
That's stupid.
All right, I'm
Whatever
good with
that is.
What
that.
a piece of shit.
That one right there. Oh, it says live in the corner. Right there. Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Oh,
Hey, we're back. Sorry.
but
What were we talking about?
Steak and chicken quesadillas.
ooh, you had a bubble in your throat there. I heard that shit.
No, I get my orders fucked up a lot by a lot of people because I'm a picky eater.
Which is crazy because you usually have like a very plain order.
Yeah.
Like it's not. There's
No,
not a lot of.
my
I can
biggest
misconstrue
hurdle
this.
and easiest hurdle for them, I think, like ever, is Arby's when I order the chicken bacon Swiss and I say meat and cheese only, and then they say, "Do you want the bacon?"
Meat, right?
Motherfucker, yeah. I want the chicken
I
bacon
want
and the Swiss.
chicken, bacon, and Swiss. But
Now I have to say, I want the chicken bacon Swiss, no sauce, no veggies. Instead of just saying
chicken, bacon, and Swiss
meat
is
and
just
cheese
chicken,
only.
bacon, Swiss, honey mustard.
Used to be.
Has it changed?
Yeah.
What has changed in that?
Now it's honey mustard, lettuce, and tomato.
Are you fucking for
With
real?
the new Arby's.
Oh,
I don't know if it's maybe it's
Is this
mayo.
wait? Is
No.
this which Arby's is this? Is this on?
I
is this
work-
Broadway?
The new bitch over here.
I worked at Arby's for like
No,
6
right
fucking
here.
years, from high school until like young adult. It was always
You should
chicken,
be honey
bacon, Swiss,
mustard.
honey mustard. That's
Yep.
it. That's
No,
the
it's
whole
different
fucking
now.
thing. Huh. Huh. Anything more than that?
No, I tried
fucking
both
way.
Arby's and they both did the same shit.
God
I
damn.
said,
Fuck
Meat
that.
and cheese only.
Oh, wait,
And
wait.
then I'll leave without bacon. And I'm like, what the fuck?
All right.
The only thing I've ever gotten at Arby's is a chicken sandwich.
Worst restaurant experience ever.
You
Go.
never tried no...
For me,
Yes.
You never
For
tried
you.
a beef and cheddar or anything from Arby's?
no, just the chicken sandwich.
Beef and cheddar with red ranch. Oh,
Get
fucking
the
love that
chicken
shit.
bacon Swiss, bro.
I
It's fire.
I don't
honey
eat
mustard.
I don't eat fast food much, but when I do, it's normally Taco Bell. Like,
That's the most expensive fast food restaurant price per
It is
pound.
the cheapest.
so I used to eat.
Dude, that is the
Google
only
that
place we
shit,
can
bro.
do. It is the only place that we can eat.
I grew
like,
up on McDonald's, like
under
any,
15
like
bucks
most
for
American
everything.
kids did. But McDonald's has gone downhill so much over
Oh,
the
yeah.
last 10 years.
That's why they come
I-
out with the gourmet.
I only
shit.
like their breakfast menu.
I don't eat
cannot
McDonald's.
I cannot eat their daytime menu. Like the sausage, egg, and cheese on a biscuit. I can eat that.
In the last 4 or 5 years, I bet I've ate McDonald's twice. Like legit.
I've never eaten it for lunch in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I only do
I like
breakfast.
fast food a lot, which is dumb too, but I don't fuck with
We'll
McDonald's.
grab Freddy's. We grabbed Freddy's the other day.
I can't.
that's
I can't do
different, though.
Freddy's.
Steak
I can't.
burgers.
That's
I
different.
can't.
Then fast
That's
food.
not, yeah.
It's not. It has drive-through.
But it ain't no like pink goo on your fucking fake burger. They're throwing a burger on the
It's
goddamn...
fast food. It's more expensive.
No, I can't.
Steak burgers.
Freddy's.
Freddy's.
No, if I had
It's
to do a steak
different, though,
burger, it'd
to
be
me.
Spangles.
I will do it over McDonald's.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's
no,
Freddy's,
I'm
McDonald's,
saying
I go
it's way
Freddy's.
better.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I'd do
why I go
McDonald's
there.
over Freddy's
That's
any
like
day.
a steak and shake. It's actually cooked. It's not some fucking thing that just throw in...
Throw in a little steamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even real fucking food.
I don't know. Like as far as like my worst restaurant experience,
Your worst.
I've never had one as bad as my buddy.
No, just you. What is your worst?
No.
I don't know. I don't have a story off the top of my head.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't think of the worst restaurant experience you had.
Go outside, don't
Well, I mean, there's some places that like it just depends. Like I've had Speakeasy here in town. Speakeasy is hands down my favorite place.
That night
To
that all
eat
the fucking
in
chefs
town.
apparently quit, and you got wings an
That
hour
was
late.
shitty. That was
Yeah.
shitty. You can have a place that is good consistently, then all of a sudden they have a bad night. And that's not. There's been multiple times at Speakeasy where that's happened. like normally we get the wings, and the wings are normally exceptional all the time. There was one night where the wings came out, and they were a third the size.
You know it's bad when your dog communicates better than your coworkers.
There were these little teeny tiny wings, and they were all fried, cooked so long that they were all like hard jerky, and I'm like, this is the worst shit ever.
Dude, that's Chuck's. I got Chuck's wings on a Sunday, and that was exactly what every one of the... I was really drunk, though, so I ate every fucking one of those wings, but they were not good.
But that's the thing, like when the alcohol's involved and you stop caring, or you want to avoid conflict, I wouldn't have thought that I'm such an anti-confrontational person, but I avoid it like the plague. Like when you were talking about somebody bringing out the wrong shit, the reason that I think, not so much the interaction with the person, but I feel bad about throwing away food. Like when somebody brings me out the wrong thing, I'm like, oh well, it's already been brought out to me. I've already tried it. I've already realized it's wrong.
I don't try to check it, and I'm like,
well, you've touched it. You've touched it at this point, so they can't serve it to somebody else. So it's not like they gave you the wrong thing, and it was actually that table's, and they can just hand it to them. I feel bad about wasting food.
Yeah.
And that
Never have I.
No, I feel bad about wasting food. And
regardless, it's somebody not doing their fucking job right.
That's the part that gets me. So
especially when I go, can I get a small chicken bacon Swiss, meat and cheese only with a sweet tea? And they go, what size would you like your order? I already said small. I say small. What do you want to drink? I'm like, motherfucker, I had the whole order from the get-go, and I gotta still repeat it 3 times. And then they still fuck it up. Then the rage limit's just like...
These jobs were...
Like, how are you employed?
Most fast food jobs, they're minimum wage, and they're not meant to be jobs that you work for your entire life. These are meant to be high school level jobs. And I'm sorry for anybody that...
2 years and I killed it.
Yeah, you're firing all cylinders. You already got an advantage. You already do. You got a brain that is functioning very well.
And that's something I think about too. Whenever I worked at Arby's, I remember having to fire a woman because she just couldn't comprehend working the register. And then I shit you not, 2 years later, I go to fucking Taco Bell. She's employee of the goddamn month. Picture on the fucking wall. And I was like, what the fuck is happening here? And I was like, that must be the difference. So
there are tiers to things.
I don't have a worst food experience on.
Yeah, I can't remember one either.
There's just a lot of fucked up shit.
I've eaten the wrong order on multiple occasions because I'm like, well, I wouldn't order this normally. I wonder what it's like. I'll try it out. Hey, it's pretty good. I'm not that picky. Who?
Chantel.
Who's Chantel?
I want to throw this up.
Who's Chantel? I've never heard of Chantel before.
Get rid of you. Get rid of you.
Oh, he's doing some magic here.
And throw this up.
Oh.
Wait, who did this?
Chantel? Chantel do that?
No.
Tell me she did it.
Oh, god damn it.
Whose shirt is that? Is that a sweater or a shirt? Is that Elder?
It's my wife's. She made the mistake of Snapchatting me yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday.
Nice.
She didn't pull off her top. That's just a sweater.
It's very relieving. It's very
oh yeah, you don't
relieving.
want to like, especially if it's like a droopy sweater. You don't want to have to like fold that up.
See,
at the end.
that's exactly what it's about. I don't want to have to fucking do that shit.
Dude.
With
She's
anything.
Like, she tried. She sent it to me, and I was like, "You're fucked. It's going on cash." And she's like,
"No, please
like,
don't.
You better not." And I'm like, "It's too late."
Oh shit!
That's why I named it.
The damage is done.
That's fucking good.
And she's like, "I don't want them to know I'm shitting." I'm like, "It's a natural thing."
And that is definitely a work bathroom.
She even
God
said,
damn.
She even said, "Fuck the G on shitting." But she had a romper on, so she's like, "I had to take all my shit off." So she was shirtless shitting.
So what is this thing with rompers?
Welcome
There's
to the club.
been a
Welcome to the club.
I'm ashamed.
Hers wasn't like a short romper. It's over the shoulder one, and then it's like a.
I'm ashamed that I
capri.
actually know what a how do you pronounce it?
Romper.
A romper.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed that I actually know what that is. Like I have difficulty with that. You don't know what a romper is? Chantel.
The rap game was polluted with it for a while.
Chantel, explain to Jason what a romper is, and also explain how you spell it, because we're all kind of confused on that point.
All right,
ROMPER.
You can't think of your worst story.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
My buddies was worse than anything I've ever had. If 12 chips got brought out to a plate on me, I would lose my shit.
I didn't have a worse one, but I have like a worse reaction to one.
Mm-hmm.
To where my order was fucked up twice in a drive-thru in a row. So then I just, I wasn't even driving. And this was probably 12 years ago in Park City or something when I was a punk. So we drove back around, made the thing beep so that when we went around to the window, they'd open the window and I alley-oop or like hook shot of my drink and it went through the fucking window. Like I money shot at it. And it was a pop, so it just splashed all over everything. I wouldn't do that nowadays, but yeah, I did it.
You punk ass bitch.
I was a punk.
I'm glad you mentioned that it was in a drive-thru. My worst restaurant experience was absolutely in a drive-thru.
It's the best way for a girl to be naked without being naked.
I don't know what that means.
There we go.
Oh god, I gotta pee again.
But we went to A&W here right after it opened because I remember going to A&W as a kid and it being amazing and I loved it because it was always like the drive-in style, like Sonic. And I was like, oh, cool. I'll totally go. And we waited forever in line. And I ordered a chili dog with onions and a root beer float. And Sarah orders just a chili dog and a root beer float. And we get through and everything. And we lived on Upper Mill Heights at the time. So we lived like half mile away.
Damn.
So we get home. It was in an apartment. Which, if you ever get a chance, the apartments right there on Upper Mill Heights that are like the David Jensen apartments.
Yeah.
That shit is fucking awesome. And it was dirt cheap. We had an amazing apartment. It was like $400 a month. Most bills paid. I fucking loved that place. Loved it.
My buddy had a girlfriend up there in high school, or I did, or some shit, and it was nice.
Yeah. It was very, very nice. But we get back to the apartment, and we get in, and we realize that both of us just have root beers. They're not root beer floats. And both are not chili dogs. They're not chili dogs at all. So we go back up there, go to the drive-thru, say, hey, we got this, we ordered this. They said, cool, we'll go ahead and make it again, bring us your receipts. We get up there, get our shit, get back to the apartment, and fucking both are chili dogs with onions. She hates onions. Fuck, alright. And then we find out that both of them are, I want to say Cokes, but both drinks were wrong again. I'm like, fuck me. And so we get back out there, we go up there again, go through the drive-thru, tell them the whole fucking story, and they're like, we're so sorry, we'll refund your order totally, like, we'll pay for it this time, and we'll get you your order right. And so we get up to the window, and this bitch comes over, she brings her food to the window, not to pass out, brings it to the window, leaves, comes back, opens our fucking bag, reaches her fucking hands in, grabs my fucking french fries, starts eating my fucking french fries out of the goddamn bag, and then fucking leaves. And then she comes back about a minute and a half later and then folds the top off and passes it out the window. And I'm just looking at her like, you got me fucked. You've got me totally fucked right now if you think that's what's going to happen. And she's like, here you go. I'm like, no fucking way. And she's like, what? I said, I just watched you eat fucking fries out of this bag. She's like, no, I didn't. And Sarah's like, yeah, you did. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking did. And then she's like, no, I didn't. I said, I want to talk to your manager. And your manager comes over, and the manager's a dude, and he's like, no, I can't see that happen. I was like, we both just watched it fucking happen. Like, right at the fucking window. And he's like, well, if you want, you can pull around and come in, and we'll remake this for you. He's like, I don't want fucking anything now. I want fucking nothing ever from you guys, ever. I've never eaten there since.
Where is this?
Long Joe Silver's A&W.
Here in town?
Same spot for me and my wife. Last time we ate there, Went to the drive-thru. Ordered, I don't know, I got the chicken basket with the fries and the hush puppies and a milkshake, chocolate shake. She probably got the same thing with a fish and 2 chickens or some shit. We get home, our fucking milkshakes, chocolate milkshakes, taste like fish.
Oh.
Like they've been blending the motherfucker up with fish in it
terrible.
and then put it in our shakes. I ain't been back. Same fucking spot.
I've never eaten.
I used to like Long John Silver's back in the day when I was a kid. Until that, nope.
I don't. I've had very limited A&W and Long John Silver's exposure.
A&W, we used to always hit that on the way back from Milford Lake in Junction.
I don't know. I just don't think they were around. Like McDonald's was more available. We were from smaller areas. They wouldn't have A&W or Long John Silver's.
And then my other experience.
We don't care.
You do.
No,
you care about this.
I don't need another case in 10 minutes.
We went to Sonic for happy hour, and you know how they have like the whole wraparound window thing that you can see in. So we order just drinks, but I'm watching a motherfucker lick his fingers and peel sliced cheese out of his fucking hands. Every fucking slice as he's throwing it on shit on the grill. Licking those fingers, peel. Licking those fingers, peel. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so the next time,
cook off. We're heating up.
So we didn't go back to that Sonic, but then we went back to the other Sonic, which is the Santa Fe Sonic. This has probably been 5-6 years now. And we're sitting out there, and it's right in that front window, right by where the drinks are made. And I watch this girl overfill a drink, and it's starting to spill over. She lifts it up, drinks out of it, caps that motherfucker off, puts it in a tray to go out. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck did I just see? And Sarah's like, see this? I'm like, yeah, I fucking saw this. I definitely fucking saw this. Oh, man, it was fucking crazy. Oh, so Trillian's birthday party, Sarah's dad picked us up, and do you remember Ling?
What?
Ling from the library?
No.
She works there now. She works out at K-State.
Julie said you guys are going to Halloween this Friday, the 5th.
We might. It's supposed to be Halloween
19th.
So the new Halloween comes out the 19th. It's the old Halloween playing at the Art Cinema Theater downtown. Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't start till 10.
Okay.
We were talking about doing that.
I don't know who Ling is. No.
You'd know her if you saw her again. But
what descent? Is it Asian? Is it?
Of course.
Well, I mean, it could be other things.
But we went to Trillian's birthday party, and we had Sarah's dad pick us up, and we go to the drive-thru at McDonald's, and he orders for all of us, and then he orders for himself, and he wants a cheeseburger. Keep this in mind, a cheeseburger. So he says, and I want a cheeseburger, and the guy rings up 8 cheeseburgers. And he's like, no, I want a cheeseburger. And he's like, okay. And then it still says 8 cheeseburgers. He's like, no, I said a cheeseburger. He's like, damn, motherfucker, I heard you. And I'm like, what the fuck? And like, this is the dude inside. And like, I'm drunk as shit. And so I go to walk up into the building because I'm going to yell at some motherfucker. And the doors are locked. And Sarah's like, get your drunk ass in the car. But the guy wouldn't respond at all. And then the manager was at the window, and he's like, yeah, we'll have a talk with them. And so I submitted like a ticket to the regional manager and the district manager. And they're like, yeah, we'll make sure that doesn't happen. That motherfucker didn't even get punished for it. He just gets to say, yeah, motherfucker, I heard you. Like, and I'm like, what is this? What world do we live in now where that's fucking acceptable? But, oh, man.
A world where you're not the center of the fucking world.
Jesus
Christ. Bitch. Come to my restaurant and take what you get. You hungry or
you take not? 8 fucking cheeseburgers, motherfucker.
I heard 8. You gonna pay up.
Oh, man.
My wife has a crazy McDonald's story to where the cops probably got called, but I don't remember what happened, or I can't tell the story very well.
In the bathroom and somebody stole her shirt. Oh man!
So is anybody going to watch Venom this weekend?
Nope.
No.
I'm not sure how it's going to be. It's PG-13.
Ooh, really? Yeah. I did not. No. But then again, that's kind of
was
understandable.
a Dark Knight. PG-13?
Yeah, it was.
Those were dope.
It was. I just don't know. So this is supposed to be completely separate from the entire Spider-Man
Tom Hardy's
universe.
good. Tom Hardy's
So,
good.
Yeah.
They're not even supposed to be able to
You
mention...
played Bane too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not even supposed to be able to mention Spider-Man in this, though. But those worlds are tied so together. I mean, that's the whole reason he exists, is because of that. But they're owned by different production companies, so they had to do a completely different storyline.
Who is this?
Who's
making Venom?
in this instance, I think it's Fox.
Okay.
I think Fox is making this, and Sony owns Spider-Man. Which is crazy, because then Disney owns all the rest of Marvel. So yeah, they can't mention each other.
So David says, "I heard you, motherfucker." So I think that's responding to Jason, and Jason's whatever. Is it Sony? Sony is Venom.
Then maybe somebody else owns Spider-Man now, but they couldn't mention it, or they couldn't.
Spider-Man now has got to be Marvel, right? It's been in.
It has been, but I don't know. Did they release the last ones? I thought it was still Sony who released the last ones, because that's the whole reason that they've continued to redo the Origins, is because they have to do a movie every so often, or the license goes free reign, so that somebody else can purchase it.
How can they just be that money hungry and not just be like, let's, I don't know, work fucking together and make a good fucking movie?
So they allow cameos for a price
Instead
point,
of being
but
like, no, fuck you, we'll renew our shit and just...
It's the same reason they did Wolverine with. They did Wolverine. That's why he hasn't been in any of the shit with Marvel.
Because the hardcore fans are going to be like, no, fuck this shit.
Yeah. That's
like you're saying fuck you to hardcore fans. I'm not a hardcore fan. I'll still watch the shit. But to people that... I don't know. It's not fair. It's
very much
greed.
so.
Greed in Hollywood.
But it's the same reason why... Oh, gosh. In the X-Men origin stories... X-Men's owned by Fox. And in X-Men, they can mention mutants. But in the Avengers, where Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were part of it, they are not allowed to mention the words mutants because Fox owns mutants.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which is why they can't mention that they also have other X-Men, or that other X-Men are in that world. But then that ties into why in the Netflix series, where you watch Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and everything else, they can't mention that the Avengers exist, even though that all takes place in New York. That's why they reference it as that green guy, or that guy for the U.S., or shit like that, because they can't actually use names, and they can't represent any of that shit. I mean, it's all a licensing issue.
You're making shit excuses to...
here.
Imagine how much better they could be if they would just work together on this shit.
Well, that's one of the first Avengers movies. So a lot of people wanted Spider-Man to be in it, and they wanted Wolverine to be in it, because they were the two biggest people that in the original comics that they wanted in the Avengers. And it took forever to actually have them introduced into the Avengers, but they couldn't because they were owned by separate studios.
So yesterday,
When he's done, you'll read David's comment.
I think we were watching FX, and the original Iron Man was on, and I find myself getting distracted and sucked into the original Iron Man for how good it was. And I was like, Teresa and I were like in the middle of a conversation, and both of us were like, oh.
I believe,
and we're like watching, and we're like, God damn it keeps sucking us in.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. Yeah. Not the third one. First two.
the third one's actually based on a really good.
Loud.
Yeah, I saw that. It would absolutely make sense as to why they allowed that to happen, or that they sold the rights because they couldn't continue to keep it up. But a different production studio does absolutely own Venom. I think Sony still owns Venom, which is why it's being carried out the way that it's being carried out.
God, Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. What a shitty movie that was. That was horrible.
I haven't watched any of those since like the first one he did.
Oh man.
And
the third one?
I haven't.
The first one was pretty good. Third one? Oh.
No, it was bad.
Oh.
But it had a different director.
It was so bad. Oh man, I mean, it was almost Green Lantern bad. And maybe it was Green. I think maybe it was Green Lantern bad. It was bad.
I love that Green Lantern was so bad that Deadpool has made fun of it in both movies.
Spider-Man 3 was bad.
It was a terrible movie. It was terrible. But I do have to say, as far as all of the Spider-Man movies that I've watched so far, way back into the 80s until now, I have to say, I think Andrew Garfield was my Spider-Man.
Who's he?
He was the one, not these past movies like Spider-Man Homecoming, but the ones right before that.
Oh, yeah.
He did. I think he did a wonderful Spider-Man job. He was sarcastic.
That was the one with what's the chick,
and,
the red-haired chick.
It was Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
Yeah,
he was good. I liked him.
No,
I did too.
As good as the Dark Knight movies were they under the same restrictions?
No.
As far as
so Christopher Nolan. So something that you'll notice about the Dark Knight series is all of the characters were characters, and it's because they decided not to introduce crazy superpowers and supernatural into it. Which is why Bane was very human, which is why the Joker was very human, which is why Ra's al Ghul was very human, and ended up dying off, even though they had like supernatural powers and shit like that. No, they made the whole universe. You are human.
Real-esque.
Yeah, which is why in the last one, Dark Knight Rises, why Bruce Wayne was breaking down, like his cartilage was breaking down, he was getting weaker, he had to have reinforcements and blah, 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 because it was all supposed to be extremely human. Like, these could be actual people. The only reason that he could be Batman is because he had money, and he had money to do, run off and go do training, run off and buy super high-powered gear, run off and go do blah, blah, blah. And
that series is fucking incredible.
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was absolutely great.
So he's talking about Ip Man?
Oh, Ip Man. The first 3 movies were good. And then they did a different one that's not Donnie Yen as Ip Man. It's somebody else, and that one was not that great.
The first 3, like you said, I liked them all.
I've read on it a ton. I just haven't dove into it.
Oh, they're
I
good.
don't watch a lot of movies and TV at all compared to you guys. Probably
I watch a lot of YouTube. Truly,
every day I watch YouTube on the bathroom when I shoot shirtless.
Even when I watch YouTube, it's something like how to mix and master vocals or how to fucking.
Mine's about poker hands, and it's reviewing poker hands. It's like, hey, if you have ace king and you're going in against queens, what should you expect? And here are the odds and how to play this right. That's
or it's like hip hop culture. That's my YouTube world.
How 9/8 suited plays out, and then I also watch a bunch of old Vine videos. I love the old Vine videos. They're so great.
You wanna?
The camera can hear you.
Are we getting to the end of this?
Yeah.
Are we?
I feel like we're ready.
Oh shit! It's like 8:30. Holy shit! I didn't expect that.
It's been a good cast so far.
Oh yeah, it went pretty smooth. I am surprised. But you watched it, man? You watched the whole series?
Oh yeah.
So do you know why they did the new? It's not Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but whatever the sequel is to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So a shitload of people would
I tried watching that movie.
Which the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah.
So a bunch of people would watch that, and then they would immediately follow up with Ip Man. So Donnie Yen was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but of course he's the main guy for Ip Man. So they made him. Netflix bought the rights to it, and they made him the dominant storyline to the new one. But they also did the same thing with House of Cards. So they found out that a lot of people were watching House of Cards, the Europe series, and then they would watch Kevin Spacey movies, or Kevin Spacey political shows, and they put Kevin Spacey in the new House of Cards.
Whatever.
So Netflix does a lot of research as to what it is that you're actually watching after you're watching something else, and sees how they can combine these things. So a lot of their original series. That's actually a good beer.
A bunch of Angry Orchard up here. What are you doing with all this?
Not mine.
Sarah, the last time that she left from over here,
she brings them every time.
Oh, I know. And then she drinks 3 and leaves 3.
There we go.
But they do a lot of research as to what you watch and in what sequence you watch them. So it's kind of like whenever you go on Netflix or on Amazon, it's like, hey, people who bought this also bought this. Mm-hmm. Are you sure you want to buy? Do you want to buy these two together? Maybe get a discounted rate. But they say people who watch this, let's see what we can do. What are the constant themes between the two? So it's crazy that to think they collect your information for something possibly positive. So I like that aspect.
Just like my Netflix account or profile is way different than Julie's. I like it, but
mine says, do you want to watch Kung Fu movie? Do you want to watch anime? Do you want to watch series like Breaking Bad? That's it. That's my Netflix.
Breaking Bad was a great show.
Breaking
That's a
Bad
show
was a
I
great
watched
show.
all the way through.
I keep suggesting to you, did you ever watch Justified? Dude, you need to watch Justified. Justified is fucking incredible.
I stay away from TV, man.
Oh, trust me, you watch Justified. I know how you are. If you watch Justified, if you watch that tonight, if you watch the first 2 episodes tonight, next week you'll be like, I watched every episode.
Are they hour episodes?
Yes. 40 minutes-ish.
So if I watch it tonight, I'll fall asleep in 20 minutes, and then I'll be like,
You think that.
Rewatch that.
You think that, but I bet you'd be like, next week if I'd be like, did you watch Justified? You're like, I watched all 6 seasons. We dug coal together.
I'm not the same, man.
Oh, that show is fucking engrossing. It's a bunch of rednecks with their fucking hillbilly shit that goes on, as well as a guy who, like, so they introduced 2 characters, and these 2 characters could have easily been the exact same person, but one went one way and one went the other way, and now they cross paths again. And it's how they interfere with each other, and then how they help each other, and how they don't help each other. But one of the guys is a U.S. Marshal, and he's just barely skating the line of, am I legal? And the other guy is just...
like training day type shit.
Yeah. And then the other guy is, hey, my whole family just ran back deals and dealt, in drugs, and we were enforcers and blah, blah, blah. But I also have this high belief in a higher power. So how do I weave into here and run my empire over here, but I also have to believe in just desserts and shit. Oh man, it's a great show. It's one of my favorite series
maybe I
ever.
need to find a show to watch it with Julie, because she loves fucking TV. I don't like it. Last night I practiced music for 4 hours. 3 or 4 hours. Just my shit. Me. And that's not normal. But I liked it, and I don't know. I just don't watch TV or movies. If it's after 7 or 8 p.m., I'll pass the fuck out with the movie.
We were watching the Chiefs game last night.
10 o'clock. If it's after 10 o'clock and I'm on the couch and I'm watching TV, it's because I'm going to fall asleep.
Some Avengers shit or something one time, and it was like an 8 or 9 o'clock show, and I'll pass out 30 minutes in. I don't give a fuck. Just doesn't, I don't know, push my mind.
Stimulate you the same way?
Yeah.
Just catch your interest.
Either have to play a game or be stimulated by something, or like driven. I can't like take my effort into something that is somebody else's story and then care about it that much. Like my story's more important or something. I don't know.
So
it's weird.
Have you any of you timed yourselves in the last year and a half, the longest amount that you can go without doing anything at all? Just nothing at all. So like I noticed today, I was in the middle of using a Keurig to brew my coffee, but it had to heat up from the last person who was using it. And the first thing I did while I was in the process of heating up was whip out my phone. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to check Reddit, I'm going to check YouTube, I'm going to check blah, blah, blah. I was like, man, I can't think of the last time where I didn't just have some sort of stimulation. There wasn't just like complete downtime. Just absolute complete downtime.
I look for that in my life. I seek it out.
I think that as well, but then the seconds where I have that, I'm just like, fuck. Like I
do the same thing. I go Reddit.
Yeah.
I don't do Facebook. I go Reddit.
Yeah.
Because you never know what that top post is going to be.
And it's something of your interest. I mean, your front page is all the things that interest you.
I do Reddit /all a lot because you never know what the world's gonna do.
That's why I read world news on Reddit.
10 minutes from now.
Yeah.
Like,
Tater, you gonna say something?
I talk to other people, and they have a totally different opinion on this. Some people don't like crawling around in their own heads and like just letting their mind wander. I love that, and
So do I.
like typically when I get home from work, and sometimes it's on my lunch break, but I prefer it if it's when I'm off work. A lot of times when I get home from work, my wife's already home and she's already doing shit and she's busy. And that's not the way I like to come home from work. If I come home from work and it's like perfect, it was kind of like it was today, where I come home from work and nobody's there and nobody shows up for the first hour. And I'll find myself just taking a moment and I just chill. And I've probably already taken my shoes off, taken my belt off, and sit back in the couch and just like take a minute for everything.
So you do nothing. You just lean back in your chair.
My mind will be wandering.
Okay.
My mind will be doing things, but I don't have anything else going on. I will put the dogs outside. They're in the pen, and they're shut off. Back door's closed. I'll sit down on the couch, and if I can find that moment, kind of like a deprivation tank, where you don't get any stimulus. That's like I find that one moment where I can just.
You're meditating.
Yeah, like nobody's home.
I don't do that well. I don't do that naturally well.
I look for them. And sometimes I pass them by because I'm too busy with other shit and I don't even think of the opportunity that I have. But when you can like capitalize on that opportunity, it's cool to where you can just chill. We keep ourselves so busy.
Yes,
and
if you hear about it, this generation is the laziest generation, even though we're the busiest generation.
Yeah.
So, but yes, to continue with what you're saying, yes. I can't believe you do that.
If I can, I try. But like I said, sometimes I pass it by without even realizing.
I think our generation or our age. Yes, technically we're millennials or whatever, but I think we're the most valuable generation that the world has seen yet. And I think we'll still be more valuable than the one beneath us.
The next one coming?
Because we've dealt with both sides of the world.
We'll
internet versus internet.
We'll think that, but then every generation probably thinks that. Hey,
maybe.
We rap more than whoever. I mean, look at how much we fight baby boomers and Gen X now, and it's such a struggle for them to understand, hey, you're doing this thing, it's not efficient. I don't care that you've been doing it for 40 years this way and it's worked for you. I don't care if, 1 out of 100 times it fails, if 99 out of 100 times it's successful, and those successes are more important than your constants. I mean, it's definitely
all I hope is we change politics.
Agreed. If that's the only thing that comes out of this generation,
like make our generation redo politics to where it makes sense, common sense, not no political sense. Just are you helping your fellow fucking man with this law or commandment, whatever the fuck it is? That should be the bottom line.
And you would think that
are you helping people? No, you're not. Okay, this fucking thing doesn't count.
Say you look like you're biting your tongue.
No. I'm just thinking about like our perspective of the way the speed of which things change versus the reality of the way things actually change.
We can't be using 1800 bullshit in 2018.
Things change really slowly, but then it seems like even though they change really slowly, then they catch up really quick. You know what I mean?
So do we every day when we wake up.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, when you and I are 60, to see where we are compared to where we are now.
How pissed off are we going to be, or how happy we're going to be?
Because the baby boomers are an enormous generation.
Oh yeah,
and
they span 2 generations,
right? And so by the time you and I are 60, that entire pool is gone, and so an entire 2 generations after us are going to now be influencing, and the social concerns that we have today will not hold any bearing to the social concerns that we're going to have in 40 years.
Can you imagine how the worry about jobs in the next 40 years? Because now the average person does what 4 people used to. The average one person does what 4 people used to, but pay has not changed since 1970. Yeah. So that part is crazy. So now imagine that, and this is the point that it's getting to, is that one of those people who's now doing 4 times the work can be replaced by a machine that does 10 times the work. So
and
with a growing population,
yeah.
And you have all these cars on the road that'll be gone. Where are they going to go? Because all these baby boomers and shit are going to die. And that, like, surplus is so fucking big.
Oh, yeah. It's huge. It's huge.
Where do all these cars go?
Cars, homes, jobs.
They're going to get cheap,
everything.
I think.
Oh, man. So I always think that.
What are you going to do with a 66 Mustang when nobody gives a fuck about them anymore?
When nobody cares about classic cars. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But even new cars, I think about that all the time. How do new cars hold their value when I've never bought a new car? I don't know anybody who has bought a brand new vehicle. I don't know of a single person in my whole life who has bought a brand new vehicle. Ever. But somehow, every year, they keep coming out with these and the prices keep increasing. Where are these going that they can continue to increase? Cars have to outnumber people by now, easily. So why do we keep buying new ones? There has to be a car for every person.
Elon said even if we flipped a switch and went electric tomorrow, it would still take 25 years to fucking catch up with the emissions and bullshit that we've already
I'd agree.
Imprinted. Or, I don't know if that's the exact translation, but it take 25 years to fucking catch up with what we fucked up or even break even.
All the last technologies that need to end in order for it to take effect.
Or to make it work.
Yeah.
25 fucking years.
Oh, no. I mean, that's just to get the majority.
We'd be almost 60 years old. And then the shit about you telling us that night, it's been a while, but we don't have enough resources to fucking last another 30 years.
Oh, no. We use a year's worth of resources within 3 months now.
Jesus
so
Christ.
we are burning through resources so quick that, I mean, it's not replenishable. It's just absolutely not replenishable. So, but then you have to think of how long did that take beforehand, and do we have the stores? And this is the part that I had to ask whenever I read this, and I can't find the information. Or are you saying now that before it was all replenishable and we were at 100%, and now every year we are eating through more than that 100%, and we were just losing? Not we had a surplus and now we're eating into that surplus, but now we are just the best it could ever be is diminished. Like, that's the part that worries me. Like, that's the part that freaks me the fuck out. So for 10,000 years were we building up a surplus, or are you saying now that
almost
we
like
are losing
MMO, diminished returns type?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's the part that scares the shit out of me. Is, hey, is our strip mining causing us we're never going to have this mineral again? Is that what you're telling me? Because we've used too much of it within a year? Or within 5 years, we've burned through all of the supply of it and we'll never see it again? And now it becomes a precious mineral whenever it was a surplus?
That's what I'm wondering, too, is in 10, 20 years, what's going to be that precious mineral that we don't see coming?
Because we thought it was gold, and gold's not as precious as we once made it believe. Diamonds? There is a huge surplus of diamonds with
that
regular.
Doesn't replenish itself as much as we thought did.
A lot of the shit that's actually used in computer chips is now what's the precious material. So that I think that's going to continue to be the same thing.
I feel like it comes down to water. H2O.
So
the one ingredient that is required for life to continue. Yeah. It's water.
You say this, and I feel like you are a little tongue-in-cheek here, but there are estimates that the first person in the U.S. will be killed for clean water within the next 20 years. The first person in the U.S. will be killed for clean water
in competition for
in the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Yes. So think of how just insane that sounds. A scenario you can never imagine not being able to just turn your tap and get infinite amounts of clean water.
And we're not close to a coast to where we can filter shit.
We're in the middle of the fucking U.S.
We're aware of what happened.
So,
we got the aquifers.
But and that's running dry. We're down to a third of what it was 20 years ago. But now imagine that within the next 20 years, somebody will be killed in the U.S. for clean water. That is
already happened, though.
Just insane. That is absolutely just so hard to believe. Like, no, we have infinite resources because we have such high technology, and we will recycle every bit.
That is the arrogant mindset that will get us to that location.
And we don't ration.
We have infinite resources. It'll never dry up. We'll be good. Profits now. That's all that matters. That's the same arrogance that is going to put us in that place.
Supply side Jesus.
God will provide. God will provide. We got to keep making money. We got to keep doing what we're doing. George Carlin's got a great take on it, and he talks about people are so arrogant when they talk about save the planet, save the whales, save the snails. It's like, you don't gotta save them. It's just a natural cycle. You don't gotta save the planet. The planet's gonna shake us off like a bad case of the fleas. It's gonna keep on spinning. We're not gonna keep breathing, but the planet's gonna keep on spinning.
So you say that, but have you seen some of the shit that's happened with some of the deterioration of the coastlines from farming?
Coastlines from farming. No.
So this has happened in South America and it's happened in Africa. So they will just basically strip an entire area, and because they strip it of its resources, that whole thing gets washed away because it has nothing to actually hold ground. Mm-hmm. So it just gets completely removed.
Same thing with continually tilling.
Yeah, it's very much the same.
Continual tilling.
So it's just a reduced coastline that happens year after year after year after year because they're using something that's so close.
But that's not going to prevent the planet from continuing to spin.
Spinning is one thing. Being productive and alive is another. We have infinite planets in our not in our solar system, but in our galaxy that are continuing to spin, but they don't host life.
I mean, but how long? What's documented history of human life? How many years? It's not long.
Wait, are we talking Kansas, or are we talking
documented human life?
280,000?
I don't believe it's that long.
Yeah, there's mummified bones of 280,000 years old.
Or whatever.
We're not talking about bones. We're talking about written history of human life.
Oh, written history? 10,000?
It's
probably
like 10,000. But the estimated life of the planet so far is 4 billion. Longer than 4 billion.
13 billion or something.
4,000.
What?
13 billion or something.
It's longer than 4 billion. Our grasp of time is so skewed.
Oh yeah,
we have no grasp of it. We can totally be wiped out, and the Earth will spin, and we'll recover for 100,000 years, and then life can form again.
Yep.
Our grasp of time is so fucked up.
So you say, and then life will form again. It won't be our life. It won't be our
No, it won't be our life. No, it'll be a different whatever the strongest organism is that will survive.
That's what's fucked up too is
we'll kill ourselves long before anything else will kill us.
That's so hard.
We will kill ourselves long before anything else kills us.
Yeah, we're suicidal as fuck.
We create all of our own demons.
As a race, we're suicidal. And the only one, I think, right? Are we the only one that's suicidal?
Self-destructive?
Yeah.
Race, species, whatever?
Nope. Bacteria and viruses both are. That is why we function more as a virus than any other living organism other than a virus.
That makes sense, though. We're almost cancer walking.
Oh, very much so. We eat up everything that's around us. We use it to what we can.
Each other at any fucking opportunity.
Yep. Getting heavy, guys. Getting heavy.
We really operate that way.
Life.
For what reason?
What does it mean?
Now imagine that we use less resources for what we do. Maybe we were a little less comfortable. Maybe we didn't have TVs. We weren't doing this podcast. if we all lived in a small village and all it was hanging out, you could brew your own whatever drinks and you just chill, and that was it. I mean, it's not as entertaining as this is, but how much is entertainment worth to us? And what forms of entertainment do we require? Is it based on our primal needs, or is it based on our fucking back brain needs now? Have we evolved to the point where
I think
our stimulus doesn't need to come from the forefront?
I think a lot of it goes back to what we've discussed before, and what like Rogan and them have talked about is a tribal mentality that's lost. You go home to your fucking house and you don't know your neighbor. It's the we have this fucking network in our hand, but we're lonely.
I think it's the same reason, and I had this discussion.
Fucks with people so bad mentally that some can't cope.
I think it's the same reason.
It's not natural.
Why in the last 10, 15-ish years, there's been such an obsession with zombies and apocalypses is because everybody wants to go back to that base. Hey,
yeah, they want to see the strong survive.
75% of the planet's wiped out. You don't have to have a job to work every day.
You get rid of the dumb fucks, and
yeah, you need to have your skill at production, your skill that's useful, and then you go out and you survive. That's what you do. I believe that that's part of the obsession with it is people realizing their worth for one, and then just how few things are needed and how few people are needed and all that stuff. I believe that that's part of the obsession is, hey, if I can go back to ground zero.
And resource preservation.
How do I do it?
Not only the people aspect, it's just the resources will last longer if more people fucking
are gone.
Gone.
And I believe this may have been one of the conversations.
It's sad, but
I had.
We're at what? How many billion people?
A lot.
7.2 now. 7.2.
India.
I made a post a few weeks ago. Even if you only have 1% of people on Earth that are fans of you, that's still 700 million fucking people.
Yeah. It's a shitload. But
they ain't right.
One of the things I was saying a few weeks ago, they've found a direct correlation between the rates of depression now and how many people have depression and severe depression compared to the necessity for fight and flight responses. And that is why it thrives in our culture now way more than it used to. And it's not because, hey, people are reporting it or people are willing to admit it. It's because it's much more common. You don't have a lot of those stimuluses still being hit, so you use an outreach for it. You haven't had to utilize them, so now when you do, you don't know how to respond.
Now,
it's like being unable to express an emotion.
Is that American culture in general, or is that just
all
white
cultures?
Culture?
It's all cultures.
Okay.
So all civilized cultures are having the same issues
across the board.
Yes,
in the world.
Absolutely. Have you seen suicide rates in all countries in the last 10 years?
No.
They have fucking skyrocketed. In the UK, 4 times. It has increased 400% in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years. Japan, almost 120%. And they already have the highest rate. They already have the highest rate. So it's a fucking incredible increase.
Something Paul.
Jake Paul or Logan Paul, one of them.
Something in like the suicide
forest. But it is because it's so common. Suicide there is so common.
That's crazy.
If you can't fit into group culture there, people off themselves. But it is so high because of a high stress environment, and they don't know how to outlet it.
It's sad because it becomes a norm and then people don't care.
Absolutely.
So then it becomes more of a norm.
It's sad from a personal perspective.
Yeah.
But from
business
and from a cultural.
This is what the planet needs because we can't sustain this much life perspective. It's called necessary.
Well, you were talking
Darwinism.
You were talking earlier about you can't sustain a job working fast food. It's supposed to be a high school job. And I absolutely believe that. When there was the big push for, hey, I'm going to work fast food and I'm going to make $15 an hour, that's not sustainable. And if you want to get a better job and a better lifestyle, you need better skills. And I believe that. I'm not saying that a lot of those jobs don't pay criminally low. I believe that they do. And they, especially Walmart. I think Walmart preys on the poor, and they get shitloads of government handouts, and there's a lot of advantages that they get, and their shit should be increased, and they should be unionized, and we've let unions go. I mean, we've completely destroyed it, and a lot of it had to do.
But
yes,
on the other side of that, I also see every day at my fucking job how many people milk the clock and sap overtime when they can and just chill, not fucking working.
I agree.
So there's a balance.
There,
no matter where it is.
There is absolutely
you have skilled laborers taking advantage of shit. You have pieces of shit taking advantage of shit. Then on the other side, you have big companies taking advantage of people or not too. So it's all a balance. It's just finding that or having the balls or the company going, you know, what the fuck, get out of here.
But when 0.001% has more wealth than the remaining every percent, that should be indicative of something. And that is a statistic that was released in the last three, 4-ish months. I learned this from Rogan. If you make $35,000 a year, you're the 1% of the world. You're the 1%
what do you have to bitch about?
You in the U.S. if you make $60K a year, yes, you're in the top 5% of the world. Absolutely.
He said $35K a year.
Oh, that seems very, very far.
Regardless,
there are a lot of
you're still up there
countries.
So what are we bitching about?
Because it's quality of living. So there was a guy who did a TED talk, and he was talking about.
I remember making $15K a year. Delivering, yeah, hell yeah. Delivering pizza or just doing part-time shit. I was still fine compared to the alternative.
Absolutely, but there are some other cultures where 5K a year US would be super huge.
Right.
But the point I was going to get to, god damn it,
Sorry,
you made me fucking forget.
It's not that important.
It is. It's so fucking important. All right, let's do this.
It's over.
I apologize.
I can't remember now.
I distracted him. I'm glad I did. I have no regret.
Yes.
Fucking hater.
Back. I want one.
You fucking
Tamagotchi for life.
Cheers, Facebook land.
Peace out. Thanks for watching.